Tape it and be done. That's all it's always listed. What about chafing? That's almost like a burn. That's an abrasive abrasion, right? Burley balm it. Yeah. You can take fixing wax if you got it. That's not really part of our 10-piece kit, right? So what we got in our kit that can address chafing? Tape. No. Tape them legs. You can tape it. It's going to suck tape it off. Or you can tape the inside of those legs and that eliminates your chafing problem. Okay? Where is he? Something to keep in mind. Alright. Burn. We got, let's keep it real simple, first, second, third degree burn. Everybody familiar with that terminology. First degree burn is what? Red. Too close to the fire, turn red, first degree burn. But it's easy. Do we worry about those? Not typically. Put cold water on it, rest it, put some balm on it or something like that. Yeah, suck it up. Second degree burn can be sunburns or second degree burns. Okay? They're painful, they're very annoying. They can cause us to become hypothermic. Just, get a bad sunburn all over your body, you get a lot of cold water and you start shivering, right? That's the onset of hypothermia. So imagine a large part of your body being burned even worse, like a third degree burn when there's charring. That's when you really have to watch it. So you don't go diving into the nearest cold water if you have a burn at that level. One, remove yourself from the burning. So if you're on fire, put yourself out.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Whatever you gotta do, put it out. Keep it clean, keep it covered. Simple as that. Keep it clean, keep it covered. That's all we're going to be able to do. Okay? Don't put any balms on it. We don't have that in our kit, per se. Only using what we have in our kit. You want a non-adhesive dressing, so don't put dry cotton on it. All right? Because that will naturally seep fluid. Your sunburn does that. It's perfect. 55-gallon drum liner is absolutely perfect. Your space blanket is perfect. And the space blanket will actually help hold in the heat. So either of those are perfect solutions because they're going to come right off. You can apply them really easy. Done deal. Keep it clean, keep it covered. If it's not clean, what are you going to do? You got to irrigate it and clean it. You're going to have to use a steel needle or knife to pick junk out of it. Hot material, plastic, it's burned in, dirt, debris, whatever. Get it out. Keep it clean, keep it covered. Be done. Go home. So that's all we can do. That's simple. Now you got bites and stings. Got that? Now let's look at our tick. Okay? Two simple ways to take a tick off that seem to work pretty good. Mike, you probably deal with them more than most of us. So ticks. There's the, and this is Wilderness Medical Society recommendation, okay? One is grab it with tweezers. If you don't have tweezers, what do you got? You got your fingertips, you got your thumb and the edge of your knife. You can make tweezers in 3 seconds, multi-tool, okay? Any of those things are going to be just fine. Grab it at the base, firm, steady pressure, straight up. Not at an angle, straight up. And they'll naturally release typically. Another way is to take the end of the stick and just keep spinning that thing through at 60 degrees. Okay? You use a Q-tip if you got it, but a stick. Just start spinning, take your finger, and just spin him around, keep spinning him around until eventually he lets go and backs himself out, and then you just grab him, burn him, get rid of it, or whatever. You got any other tricks you use?
Use them all.
Yeah. So, I mean, pretty standard, okay?
This is a new thing they're selling on TV or something. It's kind of like a beer tab or whatever. Just pops right off.
Maybe. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I can't comment on that. I don't know.
Are you talking about this little tick out, like a measuring spoon with a notch cut out of it? Sure. You can do the same thing with a measuring spoon and then cut it for all.
So, I mean, Is that for your kid? So we don't have.
I was just mentioning that you don't have to buy them, so you can sit them around.
Yeah, I mean, it's really that easy. You can take, you know. Next thing, after you get the bite eliminated, you gotta put something on it. You gotta clean it. That's the biggest thing that a lot of people fail to do, is to treat it with something. Because they'll just pull it off, burn it, get rid of it, nothing. Well, they secrete necrotic saliva. Some people, if they're diabetic, will get big old sores just from the bite. Okay? Go look at Jamie and ask him how that hurts. He got them all over. Okay? So everybody's a little different. So if you got access to something to clean it. If you got hand sanitizer by some miracle in your kit, great, use it. If you don't, what types of plants could you use that are antibacterial or antifungal or antiseptic, anything? Pine pitch, anything volatile. Okay? Cedar oil works really well too. Okay? Take some yarrow, you can take yucca, you can take plantain, you can do any black walnuts, iodine, put that in there. Thing like that's going to do this. So now we're getting into the 5 trees that Dave talks about. You can hit on all that too, right? So all that, tulip hopper, chew it up, put it on there, mix it, pulls it out, cleans it up. Ash, charcoal, all that stuff's good too. So put something on it, treat it, make sure you clean the area. Simple. Stings, exact same thing. Okay? Sting, you want to make sure the stinger's removed. What do you got? Knife and sail needle. Break it over you so you get that stinger out. Remove the venom how? You can pop it like a pimple. A lot of times, honestly, I'll always do that. I'll grab it and I'll squeeze the living crap out of it until I get fluid come back out of it. And that just releases any leftover toxin that's been ingested. It also gets my blood plasma squirting back out of it, so I know it's backwash. Now all I'm going to do is clean it, get it done, rub some dirt on it, go home. I'm not worried about it, okay? If you're anaphylactic, what are you going to have with you? You should have an EpiPen. If you know you have that issue, you better have an EpiPen with you. Because if you don't, and you have that problem, you're done. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. You ain't going to be able to cut your throat and jam an ink pen and breathe through that. You know, you're done.
Yeah, you can take on crack on a 30-degree burn. You can sure can't do that to yourself. I got that.
So, snake bite. What are we going to do? Don't suck it out.
Well, I did it last night.
Your buddy had to suck it out. Your buddy had to suck it out. So, I mean, the rule of thumb is they make all these extractors and all these things. You treat it just like everything else. You're not really going to do much. You don't put a tourniquet on it either. Okay? You just move slow, get to the hospital. And it's really that simple. Not like you're going to be able to do it. Exactly. Because it's just going to increase blood circulation. Compress, rice it. Rest ice compression elevation. That's really it. You treat it like any other bite you would have. Make sure it's clean, covered, and walk your way out. Obviously, if you can identify the snake, that's going to help tremendously. You don't have to go chasing the snake and wrestle it down or anything like that. But, you know, generally anything they have is pretty effective. So how long do you typically have? If it's a rattlesnake bite, you're going to know pretty damn quick. Because it's going to start going, and it starts splitting stuff. If you're out in South America or something, it's going to split and fissure and get real skanky within, 2 hours. So around here, Copperhead, you got time. You got some time that it's going to start. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
The different types of
So, simple, 5 B's of self-aid. That's all we're going to worry about. When you go through the first aid class, we expand upon it, and then we just really start addressing each of the injuries with items from the kit. And it's really that simple. So if you take what you've learned or picked up little tips here, just apply it to help somebody else. And the rule of thumb is, it's their emergency, not yours. So you use their stuff to treat their problem. Okay? So if you come up on a hiker, dig through their stuff and see what they got, fix it with their stuff. Because you may have to rely on your stuff for yourself. So always protect the rescuer first, because if you become sick, injured, and incapacitated, you're well. So always keep yourself in check. That's it, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thank you.